Hey everybody, Joe here with another edition of 360 Comics. In my last video, I talked about a small convention in New Jersey that I went to over the weekend, and I mentioned that they had tons and tons of dollar bins. Well, guess what? They had a fantastic fill-a-box deal where you could fill an entire long box for just $100, and I did just that. I'm going to show you all of those books today. Don't forget to follow us over on Instagram and enter our 6,000 follower giveaway where you can win these 2 Warlock keys, and also head on over to Whatnot and follow us there. If you don't have a Whatnot account yet, click the link in the description below and you get $10 off your first purchase. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to know that a deal where you can fill an entire long box for just $100 is one heck of a deal. And I ended up picking up 277 different books, which comes out to 36 cents a book. So I got them even under half price, almost a third of the price that they were marked at, being that they were dollar bins. I'm stoked about what I got. I'm going to go through it all with you today really quickly. We're going to go rapid fire mode. So let's start with the Marvel books. All right, kicking it off, we've got Web of Spider-Man 101, part of the Maximum Carnage run, and a second copy of the same book. Gotta love that Maximum Carnage stuff. And we've got Spectacular Spider-Man 201, again, another Maximum Carnage book, and 202. I personally love this cover. It features Spider-Man, Carnage, Venom, and Shriek in the background. Then we got another copy of this. We got Ultimate Spider-Man #1. Picked this book up recently. The other one was a newsstand, but this is a higher grade copy, and this is the free comic book day version as well. A reprint, but a great one to pick up if you want to read this run really, really cheap. Then we've got Web of Spider-Man 48. This is the first time that Hobgoblin is shown as being possessed by a demon, which is later separates from him and is a separate character named Demogoblin. Awesome stuff from the 90s there. Speaking of the 90s, we got a classic Eric Larson cover on Spider-Man #15 with the Beast chilling out with him. Then we got a Spectacular Spider-Man, an older one. This is issue 94 back from the 80s. An awesome black suit cover with Cloak and Dagger on it. Love that stuff. And we got a Spider-Man free comic book day. I believe this is from 2 years ago. This might have had like a cameo appearance of someone, Toxin or something. I forget exactly who, but yeah, just good Spider-Man book to pick up for less than $1. I was very surprised to see these. There was not 1, not 2, but 3 copies of Carnage Black, White, and Blood with this awesome Gleason variant cover, kind of in the same vein as his Spider-Man webhead cover that got really popular. He ended up doing a Carnage one and a Venom one, and I think he's got something else as well, but either way, speaking of Venom, we got this book from the beginning of the video, Venom Lethal Protector #4, first appearance of Scream and first cameo appearance of the rest of the symbiotes, and this is a newsstand. Now, it's got some spine ticks on it. It's not super high grade, but this book was like fetching like $15, $20 a little bit ago. I think it's cooled down a little bit now, but nonetheless, a newsstand copy, definitely stoked about that. Was really surprised to see this one in a dollar bin. It is missing the back cover, but we got Thor Annual number two, yeah, from 1966. It's a pretty old book. Even without a back cover, I will all day pay 36 cents for something like this. Speaking of Thor, we got issue number 350 featuring Beta Ray Bill on the front, a character that is gaining some heat, some popularity, possibly coming to the MCU in the 4th Thor movie. Another character that might see some Thor movie appearances. We've got Angela #1, Asgard's assassin. This is a character that I've talked about, I've speculated on. This is a great first appearance, not first appearance, but first issue of her solo run in Marvel. I believe this was her first Marvel solo run. Don't quote me on that. No, I'm pretty sure it is. Pretty sure. But either way, great book. Then we're getting into some Hulk here. We got 2099 Unlimited, first appearance of Hulk 2099. We got Weapon H #1, the first book of the the solo Weapon H run. And if you're not familiar, basically Hulk meets Weapon X. Really cool Hulk with, some Wolverine-like claws. Then we got a bunch of Immortal Hulk books, and I'm trying to recollect this run. I actually owned most of it for some amount of time, but ended up selling a lot of the earlier issues when I went to buy my house, and I'm trying to rebuild now. We had issue 18. We got issue 19 as well, and this is a really great run that I think will kind of go down in history as one of the really great Hulk runs. Issue 24, and there was a second copy of that as well. Issue 28, which features this wanted Bruce Banner poster. Pretty sweet stuff there. Then we got Quasar #1, a book that I've picked up plenty recently, and mostly from dollar bins. The first solo Quasar book, and there's some speculation on this character coming to the MCU eventually. And a 90s newsstand. Gotta love it. The next book is an undervalued key in my opinion. Iron Man 163. This is the first appearance of Obadiah Stane, a character who has been in the MCU and is a relevant character, not just some background character, I think that this book is pretty undervalued, and finding it in a dollar bin is great. It's like usually a $10 book or so, but for less than $1, oh yeah, we'll take it. This next book, I remember this being a key, and I can't remember for what reason. Captain America 90. I mostly picked it up, though, because it is a nice, high-grade newsstand from the 1990s. A lot of this stuff was newsstand, and later era newsstand. I'm not talking like early 80s stuff. Then we got Widowmakers #1. This is, we got Yelena and Red Guardian on the cover, and then we have the kind of faded out ghost-like Natasha in the background. What I assume is this is kind of on the same timeline as the MCU, where she has passed away, and these two are teaming up again. Will we see that in the MCU? Maybe. We're certainly going to see more of Yelena, though. Then we got Moon Knight #33. Very surprised to see anything Moon Knight in a dollar bin at this point because of how hyped up people are about the character, about the television show that's coming out. Great book from the original Moon Knight run. Not a key, I don't believe, at least that I know of, but either way, great book, great cover, all that stuff. We got Nova #25, and this is the last book of the original Nova run from the 1970s. Great cover, good stuff there. And it's pretty high grade for being as old as it is. Here's another solo #1. We got Wonder Man #1 from the 1990s. Always got to be careful with this and make sure that it still has the poster inside, which this one does. You don't want to get an incomplete book. Then we got West Coast Avengers #50, and this is, I believe it's just a key because of the classic cover. I don't think it has any other key significance, but definitely one of the best covers, in my opinion, probably the second best West Coast Avengers cover after the White Vision book, which that book is very expensive at this point. This one's definitely more affordable. You might have noticed recently I picked up some Vision and Scarlet Witch books from their 12-issue miniseries. Well, I picked up 1, 2, and 6 already. I got #4 now. I'm a third of the way there to having the whole series, so I'm just going to keep trying to find them. Here's a book I always pick up from dollar bins. We got X-Men 30, the wedding between Scott Summers and Jean Grey. Then we got some Wolverine books from the Marvel Comics Presents run, and these two I specifically picked up because it's his team up with Spider-Man. Two of the most popular, if not the most popular Marvel characters ever. Spidey and Wolvie teaming up in issue 49, and again in issue 50, and this is a wraparound cover as well. Pretty cool stuff with those, blue and white characters. Continuing on with that run, we got Marvel Comics Presents 62. Great cover here, and I believe this is a minor key, minor first appearance. But either way, awesome Wolverine cover for 36 cents. Let's put those down there, and we got a couple more here. Some more Marvel. We got New Mutants #4, just an early New Mutants book. I don't believe this one's a key, but I might be wrong. We got #8, the first appearance of Magma. We got number 19. This is starting the Bill Sienkiewicz cover era. I love his covers on New Mutants, especially the first appearance of Legion. That wasn't in here. We got 19. We got 22. We got 23. And then we skip a couple up to 27. All of these Bill S. covers looking good. Love to see it. Then we got some X Factor here, and I'm going to put a backing board up because some of these are unbagged and unboarded, and I haven't had a chance yet to do so. X Factor number 41. This is a minor first appearance of Alchemy. Nothing big, but might as well pick it up for the price. This book is totally a cover by number 49, Archangel vs. Iceman cover. Love it. Then we got Alpha Flight 19. First appearance of Talisman. Great cover again. This one I was surprised to find. I had to do a little bit of digging. There was a stuck together like pack of comics that was a bunch of X-Force stuff, and there were a couple good ones in there, and I don't think anyone really looked too hard. They kind of passed the X-Force stuff, and they missed this book. We got X-Force 11, second appearance, but like first major cover appearance of Domino. This is the book that holds the most value for Domino, even more than her first appearance. And it's got a great cover, and I understand why. There was also X-Force number 15. You've seen me pick these books up on the cheap recently. I've paid $5 for both of these books and was very happy with that price. So for 36 cents, can't go wrong with that. Then we got Thunderbolts number 1 from the run from the 2010s, early 2010s. There's plenty of speculation on Thunderbolts. Specifically, I think this Thunderbolts team is what people are talking about. I might be wrong about that. But yeah, nonetheless, Thunderbolt stuff has been heating up. Rumors, speculation, all that stuff. We've got some Ghost Rider next, and I was very surprised to see some Volume 1 Ghost Rider stuff in a dollar bin. We got issue number 42. We got issue number 55. Now, this is actually a key. This is the first meet-up battle between Ghost Rider and Werewolf by Night. So, as Marvel expands, bringing the monsters and the supernatural in, these two could definitely have a meet-up at some point. I'm going to hold on to that book. And we got number 61, 64, and 80. Now, this is the second to last issue, so at that point, they were a little bit more scarce, lower print runs. 81 is actually a pretty sought-after book because it features the death of Ghost Rider, as well as being the last book of the run. Still with some Ghost Rider here, we got Ghost Rider number 13 from the 90s run. Really classic cover, beautiful artwork. Ghost Rider, the original Ghost Rider number 1. This is when they brought back Johnny Blaze, in addition to, having the ongoing series from the 90s with Danny Ketch. And then we got a book I don't find very often, at least as far as 2099 books. This is one of the more rare ones, I think. We got Ghost Rider 2099, number 1, and it's a newsstand. Can't go wrong with that for the price point. Picked up some Daredevil stuff as well. We got Daredevil 187, part of the Frank Miller run. It's a little dingy and stuff like that, but like I said, for the price, I'm going with it all day. The only book I needed from the fall from Grace run, number 320, happy about that. A really classic cover here on Daredevil 15 from the Marvel Knights run. And then, last but not least for the Daredevils, number 52 of the Marvel Knights run, which is not just Daredevil on the cover, but Echo, a character that the greater population has been introduced to recently through the Hawkeye television show. She's getting her own show. I think we're going to see Daredevil show up in that. Now we got some more Marvel coming in. Last group right here, we got some Fantastic Four. Classic Doom cover. This, in fact, was in my Dr. Doom awesome cover video that I made, as well as this book right here. Same with that in my video. And then we got Doom 2099, number 1. This next one, this is a lesser known character, lower print run, first appearance of Gravity. And this, I always kind of relate this to Adam, the Blue Marvel. It's a character that was introduced in a limited series of their own name. It's a very low print run. Now, this character obviously doesn't have nearly as much of a chance as blowing up as Adam Marvel, who is really already blown up in speculation and rumors and things like that. But you never know. I will always pick this book up for $1 if I can find it. Then we got Deathlock numbers 3 and 4. This is from the Deathlock graphic novel series, and I have 1 and 2 already. They were in a collection that I bought, but now I have 3 and 4, so I have the complete set. So it'll probably be easier for me to sell them, and I can read them if I want to read through them as well. We got Guardians of the Galaxy 25 with this super sick Galactus cover. I think just like Doctor Doom, Galactus makes covers look awesome, and this one's a newsstand as well. This character almost certainly coming to the MCU at some point. We just gotta wait and be patient. Then we got Darkhawk number 25. This is the origin story of Darkhawk and the first appearance of Darkhawk in his new armor. I was able to pick up a lot of copies of this book a couple months ago, all newsstand, all high grade. I've sold most of them already. This book sells pretty well. It's only like about $5. That's what I've charged for this book. But like I said, people pick it up. It's some nice Darkhawk origin story and a cool 90s cover with plenty of foil. Then we got Marvel Team Up number 37, Spidey and Man-Wolf. Love the cover there, and books from the 70s, if you can get them for $1, even as long as they're released in like mid-grade, like that's a good buy in my opinion. And we got Marvel Age number 16, and I believe I might be wrong about this. I thought this was the first preview of the New Mutants. I might be wrong about that. But I think that's what this book is. And then we got Marvel Premiere 29, first appearance of the Liberty Legion. No one really cares about this team, but, it is something to look for. Let's move on to the DC stuff now. We'll kick the DC books off with a minor Batman key here, number 448, the first appearance of Lark, who is the Penguin's chauffeur. And I know that sounds like a very obscure key, but the Penguin is getting his own show. Maybe this character will not only show up, but play a bigger role, given that the show is really focused on the Penguin. It might not. Who knows? But I think for $1, it's a good pickup. And there wasn't just one copy. There were 2. Then we got Batman 479. I believe this is the first appearance or death or something. Some minor key significance of this book. Then we got a milestone issue here from the Nightfall run, number 500. And this is the foil cover. And guess what? There was also the regular cover, non-foil, both versions. Then we got some Batman number 0 from the 0 Hour run. This is like one of the only 0 Hour books that I have a hard time finding. You could find Superman, Action Comics, Green Lantern, Aquaman, all that stuff all day. I never see the Batman one. Moving on, we got Batman 619. This was part of the Hush run, one of my favorite runs of comic books ever. Definitely one of my top 3 Batman runs. And there's a couple different printings / variant covers of this book. I forget which is which, but there were 3 different ones that I picked up. I believe one of these is cover A, one of these is cover B, and one of these is the second printing, but don't quote me on that. Then we got, from his 1993 run, Robin number 1, a foil and embossed 90s cover. Gotta love it. Then we got Robin number 1 from just last year's run. This is a book that I'm kind of heavy on. Not only is it a Damian Wayne as Robin number 1, which is cool in and of itself. It's also the first appearance of Flatline, who is, in my opinion, a great character, a really nice accompaniment to Robin himself, and they mix really well. If you're not reading this current run, I suggest you do it. It is great. Speaking of really great current runs, Nightwing is my favorite run right now by Tom Taylor. This is Nightwing 81, the first appearance of Heartless, this new villain who's featured on the front. Love this book. This was in my DC spec video, as was Robin #1. So to grab these for $1, stoked about that. Then we got a very similar cover. Grayson #1 from the New 52 run. You know I'm picking everything Bat Family up. I love that stuff. Again, I'm very surprised to see some more Bronze Age stuff in a dollar bin, but we got World's Finest, #231. We got Superman, Batman, and the Flash, and who's that? Green Arrow as well on the cover. Good stuff. Can't go wrong there. And then we got Green Lantern #1 from the 90s run. And I specifically love this cover because it has Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart, and Guy Gardner all on the cover. Gotta love it. Can't go wrong. Then we got 2 copies of Tales of the Green Lantern Corps Annual #1. Like I said, there were 2 of these. Great stuff to pick up really cheap. You know, there's plenty of Green Lantern fans out there that'll enjoy this stuff. And then we got a #3 as well. #2 is a book to look out for, though. A key, first appearance of Necron. There weren't any there. I didn't see them, at least. They probably were already picked out already. And the last of the Green Lantern books, we got Guy Gardner #1. First solo Guy Gardner book. Nothing special there, but nice one to pick up if you're a Lantern fan. Moving on, we've got Swamp Thing #1 from the New 52 run, and guess what? Not just 1, but 2 copies there. Then we had some Swamp Thing from the original, not the original run, I guess this is the Saga of Swamp Thing run. This is #82, dating back to 1989. Nice one there, and I'm actually filling out a lot of this run, not just the Alan Moore stuff, but the stuff before and after as well. And I'm liking finding these cheap ones to fill in the run there. Then we got Flash Rebirth. This is the the return of Barry Allen as the Flash, and there wasn't just 1 copy. There wasn't just 2 copies. There were 3 copies of this book. I was very, very surprised to see that. DC fans love this one. Definitely a better Flash, in my opinion. I do like Barry Allen better than Wally West. And we got some Wonder Woman here. This is the controversial issue where the Justice League are laying on top of a swastika. I shouldn't say laying. They're tied down. So, somewhat of a bondage cover as well. Controversial covers and bondage covers are 2 things that people collect. There were 2 copies in the dollar bin. Had to grab them. We got Teen Titans #38. This is the origin story of Donna Troy. And if you ask Bronzeville Comics, he'll tell you this is one of his favorite stories ever. And we got George Perez art. Can't go wrong with that. Then we got New Teen Titans 39. I believe just the next issue there. This is the last time that Dick Grayson is seen as Robin. He hangs up the Robin suit in this issue and reemerges as Nightwing a few issues later. Then we got 2 copies of Tales of the Teen Titans #51. This is the first cameo appearance of Azrael, and then the first full appearance in the next issue, #52. Some very minor keys, but figure for 36 cents, can't go wrong there. Then we got Tales of the Teen Titans Cyborg #1. These were like showcasing a specific character from the Teen Titans. They did it with a bunch of them. And then Spotlight #1. This is from a 2000-something run. Sorry, not what I say. Spotlight. Starfire #1. Going back, we got some DC Showcase featuring Doom Patrol. This is #95. Some cool stuff from the, what was this, probably late 70s, 35 cent? Yeah, somewhere in the 70s. Then we got some Justice League from, the early 80s, I guess this is. This is #189, and to go along with it is 190, and these are just 2 awesome Starro cover appearances. Starro up on top of a building, and then Starro mind-controlling everyone, including the Justice League themselves. These spiked pretty hard when the movie came out, Suicide Squad, and they haven't settled down much. I still see them selling for, $15-20. Then we got Justice League Europe 33. been mentioning this book a bunch recently. It's still out there in dollar bins. It features a early Sonic the Hedgehog appearance in comics. The first time Sonic the Hedgehog appears in a major comic publication, though. So for that reason, that's a good one to pick up for Sonic fans. That's it for the DC. Let's go on to the indie books now. What's a stack of indie books without at least some Spawn? We got issue number 11, issue number 13, 2 copies of that guy, issue number 14 as well. Can't go wrong with picking up these early Spawn books. I know a lot of people try to complete, 1 through 10, 1 through 20, 1 through 25, whatever number they pick. And it's, just a great thing to have as backstock for conventions and stuff. Then we got crossover number 6. I was planning on reading this anyway and eventually picking this run up, so might as well pick up an issue for under $1 if I can. Save a little bit of money there. We got Nocterra number 3. Pretty surprised to see this, given that Nocterra stuff's been hot recently due to being optioned, being picked up, being in the writing process right now. This one is not like number 1, obviously, but still from the original, 6-issue run, definitely a good book to pick up. Then we got Youngbloods number 1, both the first printing and the gold bordered second print. Just classic books, really cheap, affordable. I typically sell high grade ones of these for $5, so if you can get them for less than $1, that is a good turnaround. And we got Miracle Man number 2. Miracle Man has also been a hot book recently, and this isn't a number 1, not the first appearance or anything like that, but still a good pickup. Then we got Young Dracula number 1 for Caliber. I didn't know much about this run. Obviously, there was a Young Dracula movie at one point, but I figured why not throw this in? I needed to fill an entire long box, and this was a great one to pick up. And I was really stoked to find these two. We got Albedo number 10. This is the run that gave us Usagi Yojimbo, who first appeared in issue number 2. Don't believe he's in this one, but there were 2 copies of number 10, and all of the Albedo books from this time period are worth something. Definitely worth grabbing them if you can get them cheap, like for 36 cents. So that was kind of a no-brainer. All right, so there are a bunch of limited series that I'm going to get into next, as well as just full runs of things, and we'll breeze through that and then talk about how much this cost, how much I think it's worth, all that stuff. This next group of books is one of the ones that I was the most stoked about because I'm a huge fan of Ben Reilly. We got Sensational Spider-Man number 1 through 33, with the exception of book 27. For some reason, not a key or anything, but that one was not in here. And there also is a number 0 for this run, so I'll have to find 27 and 0 so I can have the complete run. But nonetheless, this was a great pickup. Paid less than $1, less than 50 cents, in fact, per book. And you can't really go wrong with that. Next limited series here, we had Infinite Crisis, and there wasn't, there wasn't any number 3s or 5s in the dollar bins, obviously, because those are the keys. But I did get 1, 2, 4, 6, 7. And you did see in my other video, I did pick up 2 copies of number 3 as well. No number 5s for this trip, but I do own one of those already. Then we got Secret Wars from the second run of Secret Wars. Sorry, not the second run, but the 2000s run of Secret Wars. Books number 2, 3, 4, and 5 of the 8-issue miniseries. So I'm halfway done completing that miniseries at this point. I've been looking high and low for these books and can never really find them in dollar bins, so I was stoked to get at least half of them. Yeah, there's no number 1, but I'll find a number 1, and then 6, 7, and 8 as well eventually, and I'll have the whole run there. Some of the next books were some of these Alex Ross Justice books, issue number. We got 5, 6, and 12. I picked up a bunch of these recently, so I think I have the whole limited series now. I'm pretty sure these were the only 3 that I needed. There might be one more that I needed. I got to look through my stuff and make sure that I have completed the run. That's a nice one to have because they look beautiful. Alex Ross doesn't ever disappoint. Then we got Department of Truth, starting with issue 2. I was pretty surprised to see this early of a Department of Truth issue in a dollar bin. And it went all the way up to number 12. And I've been meaning to pick these individual issues up. I have a couple copies of number 1, and I have some of the later stuff that just came out, I think like 13, 14, 15. But this was great because it went all the way up to, like I said, number 12 there, which butts up right with what I have already. Stoked on that stuff, and I love the artwork on Department of Truth. Next, we got Batman Arkham City. I don't really know anything about this limited series, but it's a 5-issue limited series, and of course, the thing was complete. All 5 issues right here. Nice stuff. There were no bags and boards on most of these limited series, but I'm going to have to take some time and get some on there at some point eventually. We got Batman, The Return of Bruce Wayne. Again, a limited series, this one being 6 issues long, and again, being complete. Stoked about that. I just got to put these off to the side here. Maybe that'll be easier. We got Hulk Gray, number 1 through 6. Again, a 6-issue limited series that was complete. Gotta love finding these for less than $1. In my opinion, you can pick any limited series and sell them for $2 a book. Pretty standard, as long as you have the complete limited series, whether it's a 4-issue or a 12-issue, you can get $2 a book pretty easily just for the complete series. So buying these at 36 cents, that's going to end up being just a nice little turnaround. You know, nothing crazy. But the next one, we got the Mephisto books. We had a couple different, teams against Mephisto. Fantastic Four, X-Men, X-Factor, and the Avengers in a 4-issue limited series. And these are really high grade too. From 87. It's pretty great. Next, we got Magic, number 1 through 4. This is the Storm and Ileana Rasputin spin-off. And issues 1 through 4. This is where the name Magic comes from. That Ileana eventually takes on. Stoked about these next 2. They're the same run, though. It's Damian, Son of Batman, number 1 through 4. 4-issue limited series. I'm pretty sure this was the first, solo Damian title or whatever. I think so, at least. And there were, like I said, 2 copies of all the books. So I grabbed both. Figure I'll keep one for the PC. And, I'll put one up in my my claim sales. Then we got a little run from the Batman New 52 run. This is the story arc called Endgame, and it was issues 1 through 4 there. I think it's better if I just hold these up. Next, we got Bane Conquest, and this was an 11 or 12-issue limited series. There was only 11 books, though, so I'm missing number 12. Figured I'd pick it up anyway and look high and low for that number 12. If you know where one is, let me know. Here's another one that I particularly like. I already own this, and it's a great story, so I definitely recommend it, and I'll be passing this set along. We got Gotham Underground 1 through 9. I think there's a 9-issue. Yeah, 9-issue limited series. Love that Penguin cover right there. But great stuff. Huntress 1 through 4. Good stuff from the 80s, early 90s. When was this? 94. I was close. We got Batman Europa, which I know nothing about. This is a 4-issue limited series right here. And some cool stuff. Something that I might dive into. Definitely has got some really great cover artwork by Jim Lee. Can't go wrong with Jim Lee Batman stuff. Then we got Salvation Run. This is a 7-issue limited series. Again, complete. Awesome stuff there. Justice League Cry for Justice. 1 through 7. Yeah, complete limited series again. Again, I don't know much about that one, but yeah, I'm not a DC guy as much. Then we got Convergence. Guess what? 1 through 9, I believe. 1 through 8. Sorry, 0 through 8. 0 through 8, complete limited series. And last but not least, probably the one that I'm the most stoked about, because I really want to read this one. Definitely very into this character. Rogue 1 through 12. This wasn't her first solo run, but it's a nice 12-issue solo run that is from the 2000s and evolves the character a little bit. And is that Bill Sienkiewicz? It's a weird signature that looks like it could be Bill Sienkiewicz. I'm not sure, though. Maybe it's not. Anyway, that's a whole lot of books. In fact, 277 books for just $100. Like I said, came out to 36 cents a book. Definitely a great buy. It's really hard to price something like this. There are plenty of books in here that I will be able to sell for $5, $10 even maybe. But at the same time, a lot of this stuff, you know, are going to be bundled together in these, the limited series packs and stuff like that, and will end up being, much less, more like $1 to $2, maybe $3. So, I think at a price point of 36 cents, there's no way I can't make money. Optimistically, we're talking really optimistically here. I think that this stuff has like a market value of maybe close to $600, which would be obviously very, very good considering I paid $100 in total for it. Now, I think that given the situation, it's a lot of stuff to move. Some of it's going to sit for a while. Most of it is lower value stuff where there's condition issues. I think a more conservative estimate of what I can probably get for it is probably around $300. Now, that is a really solid triple up. Really stoked about that. It's going to take some time to do so, and a lot of the stuff has to get bagged and boarded as well. But for the most part, like, I'm really, really happy with this buy. There's definitely some high-end, a high ceiling here. Like I said, maybe we'll get to that $600 number, or at least closer to it, but I think $300 should be no problem. That being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry that it was so long. There were just 277 books to go through. Leave a comment down below. Give us a thumbs up for the like. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Follow us on Whatnot, and, of course, over on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, turn the page, wash your hands.